How you doing, everybody? Jonathan here, and in this video I'm going to go over the 5 biggest advertising mistakes that people tend to make with their fitness businesses. Alright, now the biggest problem that I think people have is that they apply the general practices of advertising to their fitness business, whereas general advertising tends to try to sell you a specific product, something that you can hold in your hand, whereas you are looking to sell a service, an experience. Alright, so you have to get away from the mindset of how Downy sells, fabric softener, or how, Pizza Hut sells pizza, because that's a tangible product. You want to think more like actors, okay? So in the entertainment industry, when somebody has a movie coming out, what seems to always happen? They're always in the news in some way, shape, or form. Either they got into some kind of trouble, they got some kind of charitable event going on that's really going to be useful and that they really do believe in. But in one case or another, they really are in the news. Okay, so it's the same with your business. You are not looking for advertising anymore. I want you to get that concept out of your head. Your goal is, how can I increase exposure? Because the more good exposure you have, the more foot traffic you'll get. Now, I often get messages from people on Facebook saying, hey Jonathan, I decided to start my own fitness business and I need some help on advertising. These are some ideas that I wanted to put together. And these are some of the same mistakes that I made in the beginning, and I want to help you avoid them. So, the number one mistake is going to be partnering with businesses that really don't care about you. Alright? So, how do you know if a business cares about you or not? Alright, so when I first started my first satellite location, like I had mine and I was opening up a second location, the trainer there was all about flyers and postcards. He said, man, we're just going to knock on doors and we're going to put flyers up, in the town as I go to these places all the time, and people will be coming in droves. And you have to understand that just because you frequent a business, that doesn't mean that they have an emotional attachment to you, so much so that they will go out of their way to promote your business. Moreover, just because you have flyers or lead boxes that cost a lot of money there, that doesn't mean that they are going to go out of their way to make sure that people are noticing them, that people are paying attention to them, because they have their own business to run. So, case in point, the same person who said he knew the owner at a restaurant that we went to, he said, it was a diner actually, he said, we'll put the flyers up and then people will come. A week later, we went back to that diner. Wherever he put the flyer, it was gone. The owner doesn't care, and you know what? Don't be so offended, because they have stuff to take care of themselves. Once you become super successful and you find a lot of people are just asking you for information, asking you for donations, asking you for exposure, you're going to say, hey, listen, I got a lot of things to do. So your goal is not necessarily to get flyers and lead boxes in every business, because, first and foremost, if you're a complete stranger, they may just let you do it to get them off your back, to get you off their back, because they know it's going to disappear eventually. And two, they're not going to go out of their way to say, hey, you know what, there was a trainer, and you should really check out their business. Now, the alternative, or the exception to the rule, is a situation where either one, the owner of the business, or somebody with a lot of power, or somebody with a lot of influence over the general population that enters that business, if they allow you to train them, alright, and then you can make a significant change, and you will require them to promote you based on the changes that they make, or else you stop. Alright, you train them for free, and then you allow them to give you exposure. Their results are your exposure. They're a reflection of your work. And then people that come into the building will say, well, how did you maintain this, or how did you see all these results? Well, I train with so and so. Or if that business owner allows you to offer your services in their building, that's how you know that they care about you. So, for instance, I had a salon a salon owner that I was really cool with, and she said, all right, every Tuesday you can run a boot camp in here, and then you can charge $5 a class. It's good for her because she gets to get more people in. It's good for me because it gets my name out there, and that's a situation where you're partnering with a business and it works. All right, so you may think that partnering with or getting a lead box in a store without a lot of traffic is going to be a great thing, but more often than not, the lead box will become visible in about a week, and you spent your money for no reason. So be mindful of how you're partnering with other businesses. Number two, trying to appeal to the general audience by just choosing a charity that you think will tug at their hearts. Listen, if you really care about a charity, all right, then you probably have been doing this for a very long time, and you've gained exposure just from your efforts with a charity. But if you decide to start a business and then you decide to pick a charity just because, people will see right through it. For your first month or for the first 6 months, I'll donate 10% to the American Heart Association. That's not going to change people's minds. All right? To be honest with you, when it comes to charity, most people don't care. Okay? They only care when it's a big deal. Like everybody cares about breast cancer in October, and everybody cares about another disease on that awareness month. But for the most part, people aren't that charitable where they're just going to run to a complete stranger with whom they have no prior experience just because they decided to donate some money to a charity. Moreover, check yourself. If you were making 10 grand a month, would you be donating 10% to that charity? Does it really mean that much to you, or are you doing it for the exposure? If you're just doing it for the exposure, I can tell you that it's a waste of time anyway. Focus on other things, and then when you find something that you do care about, then you can focus on it. Now, what should you care about? All right, what's the exception to the rule? If you have something that is local and that is specific to that community in a tight-knit community. So, for example, if a local family's house burned down and you decided to run a spin marathon of some sort, or a yogathon or a Zumbathon, and all of the money went to the family, all right, and then you get the local newspaper to write a story. That's the kind of charity that you want to do. But 10% goes to the American Heart Association. Keep the 10% for yourself because it's not going to draw anybody extra. Okay. Number 3. Mass development of mailers and postcards. So, you may be a very motivated type of trainer, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm just telling you that when you send out your own mailers and your own postcards, you have to first understand that direct advertising will generally give you a 1 to 2% return, if that. So, if you sent your mailers out to 1,000 people, you can expect about 10 people to possibly respond. All right, and then your conversion rate is based on your product and your experience, and all they have to go off of is whatever offer you may have put on your mailer or on your postcard. So, out of that 1,000 mailers that you sent out, you may be able to convert 2 or 3, which I don't feel is the best kind of leveraging for all that effort that you're going to put into sending the mailers. Moreover, your artwork and your copy probably sucks. Now, don't be insulted because mine does too. All right, we are not mine doesn't. I'm pretty good, but we're not graphic designers. I spent a lot of time doing the advertising thing before I even got into college. But we're not advertisers. All right, we don't take a lot of time in general to focus on what makes good copy, and oftentimes the print is not best suited for the message that you're sending, or you're focused too much on the artwork. A big problem with advertising by the trainer. So you're sending out these mailers that you think are beautiful and that you think will pull people because you know what they're supposed to mean, but they just look jumbled to the end user. Moreover, when people get things that they're not really looking for, they tend to discard it. When you get your mail, how do you go through it? I spend maybe 3 seconds. Yes, bill, okay. Sports Authority, all right. Everything else, if I don't know immediately, if it's not something I've been looking for, something that I have a direct, specific interest in, I discard it. And that's what's going to happen to 90% of your mailers. Now, the alternative is to go with like a Valpak. All right, and this is especially good if you're looking to target stay-at-home moms for early morning training. A lot of communities have these value packs, all right, that they send out every quarter, or every month, or every couple months. And these usually go out to around, you can call this, you can call the company that sends these, and they'll send it to about 10,000 people, for a specific rate. I called Valpak in my general area, and I think it was like 10,000 people for $300. And here's the kicker: they'll do the artwork and the copy for you. You just have to give them a general idea of what your business name is, send them your logo, and they will actually craft it so that it's more appealing to the eye, all right? And they have experience doing this, all right? So you've saved time and you've saved a little bit of money, and you've probably leveraged your money a little bit better than if you were taking the time to send out the mailers on your own, okay? Moreover, I was talking to my 9 o'clock class, which is mainly stay-at-home moms, and they go gaga over these things. Like, I don't understand them, but the moms, like, they go through them because there are deals all over the place, and they're the ones looking for coupons and things like that. But, you know, if you get a mailer that says you need to lose some weight, maybe they'll look at it and they'll probably discard it. So, if you're going to go with a mailer option, go with like your community's local value pack offer. Like, call them and they could probably help you out a little bit better. Alright? Number 4, focusing too much on your website. This is a huge offense because nobody cares about your website. Alright? You have to focus. Listen, you want to go where the people are already there. You don't want to try to create, you know, the buzz by yourself because you're only one person. And you're in a saturated market with a lot of competition. So you're focusing all this attention on onto your website, and then what are you going to do? Are you going to hand out cards to multiple people while they're walking? Do you think they're going to hang on to these cards? Do you think they're going to remember to go to your website? No. Your website is essentially a landing page. Okay? So after they, after they go to your website once, like for my website, bootcampbff.com, after they go to my website once to register, they're probably never there again. All right? And that's the case. You're not going to be competing with the top sites. You can't compete with Google. You can't compete with Facebook. That's where people spend all their time anyway. You're not going to compete with YouTube. So why are you spending all this energy on trying to get people over to your site? Put yourself over there. Put yourself where they are. So you have your website for your pertinent information, for forms and such. But in terms of like making it super pretty and putting all these logos and all these extra designs, make your website as simple as possible. Try to limit your navigation bar to about 5 buttons. Keep your print large, keep your print simple, and then have links on Facebook where they can go toward and where you can constantly give them information. That's where you give them constant exposure. So the websites that you do want to work on outside of your domain page will be your Instagram, that's more of an app, and your Facebook. Listen, I don't know about you, but as soon as I wake up in the morning, those are the first 2 things I check. I check my Instagram before I do anything. I don't know why. It's an entertainment source, and that's where you can give yourself exposure. Alright, number 5, pay-per-click ads. Alright, I did this too, alright, and I got lucky that the first 2 weeks of my pay-per-click ads, I got responses. Pay-per-click ads are essentially when you, like on Facebook, you buy out space on a website. Anytime somebody clicks on it, then you have to pay. Alright, so it's only if they clicked on it that you have to pay a certain amount for your ad. Alright, now here's the thing. The more narrow your ad, the more expensive it is. So if you're looking to, just go out to your community, alright, you're only going to pay every time somebody shows a little bit of interest, but it may be $1 per click. Alright, and it may be a case like I have only early morning boot camp, so if somebody was looking for an evening boot camp and I couldn't fit it in the copy, alright, the words that they used to click on the ad, and then they clicked on it, I just spent $1 for no reason. Oh, there are no evening classes, so now I've just wasted $1. And I had 2 people click that eventually signed over when I did pay-per-click ads in the very beginning, and it turned out to pay for itself. But every subsequent effort that I made in terms of pay-per-click ads ended up costing me a lot of money. So there's no point in spending all that money to narrow your search to a small group of people. They may or may not click on it, but more than likely, they may not be interested in what you're doing, or they just may not be interested at that time. But as soon as they click it, you just lost money. So there's no point, in my opinion, if you're in the beginning, if you're in the starting stage of your business, to have a pay-per-click ad. Your alternative should be Instagram, Facebook, all right, and the inclusion of YouTube and things like that. So what is your goal when it comes to exposure? All right, in the end, your goal is to get as large of a lead list as possible. Okay, you want emails and you want names, even if it means that you have to train for free. The best thing that you can get is emails and names, because if you want to offer something, then you have a group to offer them to. But moreover, when you're looking to create your exposure on something like Instagram, it'll go through your email account, and everybody that you have saved in your contacts will automatically be added to your Instagram pool of people that you can send out to. And most people kind of just follow and allow followers indiscriminately. So you may have trained somebody 6 months ago, but because they did your free class, where they gave your name and their email, you now can show them, this is what I'm offering. Here you go. So that's going to be a great tool. You just want to get people's names, and I'm going to be showing you how to use Instagram and how to leverage Instagram so that once you get constant exposure to your clients with minimal call to action. You want constant exposure, minimal call to action. So every time they see you, you shouldn't be asking for money. Right? But once you get to that point, and I'll go over that in another video, then you'll be able to generate a lot of foot traffic without having to spend money. So, after watching this video, if your appetite has been whetted a bit, what you're going to look for is, when you go to my page, you're going to search for what makes a good promo video, and using Instagram for advertising and exposure. Alright, since you may be tied to the whole word of advertising. This may not be available yet. Today is March 11th, 2014. It may take a week or so to get those videos up. I'll get them up as soon as possible. But those are going to be the next steps that you take to help you to increase exposure, and I'll just be adding more information from there. Alright, so I hope you found this video helpful. Remember, if you found this video helpful in any way and you want to pay me back, the #1 thing that you can do is share this video. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, exposure, get it? Share it on YouTube, share it wherever you can, so I can help to get the word out. Other than that, make sure to comment below, add me on the Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, Jonathan Fit Pro, on all platforms, and just stay tuned, because the best information comes from questions that you guys ask me. So once you're a friend of mine on Facebook, feel free to ask me a question, a comment, or a concern. It may just inspire a video. All right, you guys give me the content, I just give it back to you in an organized form. So, until we meet again, remember to eat healthy, hydrate, drive safe. Stress levels don't get rest, won't slap anybody. Love your clients, they will love you back. I will see you all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a good one.